All right, I have a little story I wanted to share, and it correlates with this whole transgender thing that's going on. You know, where there's people that are born with a penis and they think they're female, and then you have people born with vaginas and they think they're male. So a lot of confusion going on with people's sexuality, which is sexuality confusion. If you were taking psychology classes, it's a place where if you don't develop correctly, you can come into this place with, confusion with your sexuality, whatever. So, in the beginning, God created the male and female. That's what the Word of God says. But I have a little story I want to tell you, because this is a real life story. On the farm that I grew up on, my father has a couple horses. He has 4 horses. They're all paints. They're really beautiful horses. And there is a gelding in the 4 that gets beat up by the full male horse, I don't know what, stallion, I guess you'd call him the stallion. So anyway, they separated the gelding from the stallion into 2 mares because the gelding was getting beat up and not treated nice by the 3 other horses. So they took the gelding and they put him in with, he put him in with, we had a bunch of cattle, a bunch of beef cattle. So my dad put this gelding in with a bunch of beef cattle. And the gelding was in this herd of beef cattle for years. And as the beef cattle were moved from field to field over the course of years, the gelding, he started to want to be with the cattle. He started to want to be with the cattle. He started to identify with the cattle. If the cattle were moved to a different field, he wanted to go. So if he got separated from the cattle, he would get antsy and he'd want to go with them. And so he would always go with the cattle. So it's interesting that just because the horse was in with the cattle for a few years, that he began to identify with the cattle. But it doesn't matter how much he identified or how much he wanted to be with the cattle. It didn't make him not a horse. He was still a horse. He was still a gelding. He was not a cow. Even if he had black and white spots and was fat like a cow and low to the ground, he still wouldn't be a cow. He would be a horse. So this whole confusion with this identity gender thing, I think it's a bunch of, I don't even have the words. I'm not allowed to speak such words because I have to guard my mouth. But it's ridiculous, and it makes confusion for everybody. Everything gets confused. Everything is just like a bowl of mess right now. And just because you're a horse that's been around cattle your whole life, it doesn't make you a cow. You can think you're a cow, but you're not. You're still a horse. Even if the horse wants to be a cow, he can't be a cow. He was created to be a horse. Anyway, just some thoughts from a farm boy from upstate New York. Have a wonderful day.